go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you.
Hi guys, welcome to this week's video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I created this fun yet practical color mixing grid using a very limited palette. My secret to getting all of these amazing colors is using a warm and a cool of each of the primary colors. And my gift to anyone who would like to paint along with me is I have a free download of the grid on my Ko-Fi page, and you'll find the link down in the description. I have actually two downloads for you guys. I'm only using this one today, but I have a second one where you can make as many copies as you like, but you can mess around with the different ratios of the mixes. So a nice little reference that you can have as you learn your color mixing. So you can pause the video, grab your download, print it on the best paper you have. I actually did this on regular copy paper. I did have a prepared, this is a mixed media paper that I gessoed and sketched out this whole grid. And then I made a mistake on it, so I just scrapped it. And I thought, you know, what if you guys only have photo paper? And so this is actually the worst case scenario as far as doing this grid on the cheapest paper available. So it will only come out even better if you use a thicker paper, or even using a photo paper. If you use a matte photo paper, that will also work really well to receive the acrylics. So yeah, I think don't let it stop you if you only have photo paper. I did this on photo paper. It didn't really bleed out. All that color came out a little darker. What's this? Yeah, this is my quinacridone. Bled through a little bit, but it didn't even really bleed through. I can't even say it bled through. And it still worked. So grab your download and meet me back here, and let's mix some fun new colors together. Okay, let's take a look at the colors that we're using for the grid. And for my yellows, I am using Cadmium Deep U. This is a nice warm, and then a primary yellow for the cool. For my reds, I'm going with Naphthol Red. It's a beautiful warm red. And Quinacridone Magenta for my cool. I also have Ultramarine Blue for my warm blue, and Phthalo Blue for my cool blue. For my shading, I'm using Mars Black and Titanium White for the tinting. So these 6 colors are the foundation of the whole grid, and you'll see just the beautiful variations we get from just this basic palette. I'm going to start with my Cadmium Deep and just lay that on there. And since we're going down, there's this Cadmium Deep here. And then I'm going to do a little Cadmium Deep on my centerpiece here as well. And this is a nice grid to have pinned up on your wall because it's a nice reference to what you're doing. So I'm going to take a little bit of Cadmium Deep. Let me make sure it's in the frame here. Yes, a little bit of Cadmium Deep and little white. And you see how we can just lighten this up into a nice buttery yellow. I'm going to clean my brush because I don't want to contaminate my colors, and I'm going to add a little bit of black to this. Little goes a long way, and this turns into such a beautiful green. And the more yellow you add to this, the warmer the green will be. Isn't that a nice surprise? Adding black and yellow to get your green. Now we're going to go for the primary yellow, which is the cool of our yellows. I'm doing 50-50, kind of 50-50 of each. You see it just kind of warms up that yellow a little bit. And get just a lighter shade of that yellow. I'm actually going to add a little more white. Now we're going to go for our shade, and I'm going to add, I mean, you see the little sliver of black I'm using in there because it's a very strong color. So now clearly I did add more black here, but this is where you play around with it. You get to just, you know, figure out your favorite color mixes. Now we're going to go with Naphthol Red. I love this red. It's like a cherry red. And we are going to mix Naphthol and Cadmium Yellow Deep. And since this is two warm colors, look at this beautiful orange. And now we'll add a little white to that. And a hint of black. You know what? I'm going to mix a little more because, okay, take our Naphthol. Get that nice orange going. And then take our hint of black. Okay. And it gives us a beautiful warm brown. Very nice color for landscapes. Oh, and here's one of my favorite colors, Quinacridone Magenta. This magenta I've had for many years, and it's a little dry out of the tube, but look at that color. And this serves as a really nice cool red for our simple palette. Even though magenta is in the pink family, when you look at a color cartridge, for instance, on your printer, you'll see magenta used for your red. Oh, look at that. It's so beautiful. It's like a brick color. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Think of autumn leaves. When I look at especially East Coast or Canada, you just see the variations, especially when it comes to fall colors. And this color is so prominent in the fall scene. Now I'm adding a little white. And it gives us a nice, like a blush pink color. Add a little bit of white and you can see. Oh, too much water. And now we're going to do a hint of black to darken it. And we just passed the halfway point in our first grid across, and look at all the colors that we've already created. Isn't this beautiful? Okay, Ultramarine Blue, which is a nice warm blue. This is nice for ocean colors. And now we're going to mix. Let's do a little more. And now Cadmium Deep. And we get this beautiful green. Beautiful deep green. Now let's see. I'm just going to mix a little bit more yellow to it. And look how much we can warm up that green. Little white. And a hint of black. I'm going to do a little more color here. Yeah, I didn't want the black to be overbearing, but that might still be a little too light for me. Let's see, let me pull this together here. And I'm going to do a little bit more black. And now, you see how these two colors look very similar on the palette, but you can already see this turquoisey blue from the Phthalo Blue. Oh, it's stunning. It's beautiful for tropical waters. Let's paint this one out. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love this blue. Okay, so we'll do some phthalo and our Cadmium Deep. Oh, look at that, like an emerald green. It is so rich. This color is so rich. And as I scrape the paint away, you can see this lighter color that it picks up some of the lighter greens. And now I'm going to add some white, and you'll see how this comes alive. Look at that. There's our first row. So you see, even in just the greens, how the different, in not only value, but the tinting between the warm and cool. Now we're going to jump into our primary yellow. And we're going to mix the two, primary and our Cadmium Deep. I'm being very messy, but it's more about, you know, just learning to mix your colors and having a nice reference guide. Beautiful colorful roses. Now we're going to have a pure primary yellow here. And some of it might be redundant, you know, but it's a really nice way to get familiar with your colors. And at first, you know, you may need to think about it, but the more you mix, it's going to become second nature. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Now we're going to take our warm red and our cool yellow. And you'll see versus this bright orange, it knocks it down a little bit. And mixing it with white, we get like a little, like a salmon color. Hint of black here. Oh, that might be a little too much black. Let me just pull from that. And also, I'm painting on really crappy paper, which really kind of defeats the purpose because it will show up differently on a different surface. Okay, we're going to use quinacridone. And where are we? And primary yellow. Now these are two cool colors. So it just gives us a still vibrant because the quinacridone is pretty strong color. But it just knocks down that red a little bit. Very pretty pink. Now this gives it like a eggplant color almost. Ultramarine Blue, which is our nice warm blue, and a cool yellow. And some colors won't be quite as evident until you maybe mix a different percentage. Like I'm just doing 50-50 more or less. But for instance, in this green, if you were to add more primary yellow, it will cool down the green considerably. This gives it a nice, like, vintage green look. Now the Phthalo Blue, nice cool blue with our cool yellow. I need to add more yellow to my palette here. I'm going to clean up the palette soon so we don't contaminate our other colors. Mixing this with white, it gives it a nice, like a minty green, but it can also be almost a light turquoisey aqua color. Oh, this would make also really nice colors for landscape. Okay, we have a clean area here. We're gonna go with our naphthol. Let's just paint the naphthol in here. So we'll go with our naphthol and cadmium yellow deep. Add a little white. Add a touch of Mars Black. Gives it that nice reddish brown. Primary yellow. Oh, we need more primary yellow. I'm going to, let me clean this area here. Just try and keep my colors in the same place. So primary yellow and naphthol. What am I doing differently? I'm using my, which you could use your spatula, but I have been consistently using my brush for that. This is a beautiful color for roses as well. A peachy color. It can be a nice shaded color for yellow roses. And let's do a hint of black in there. That would be a good color for tree bark. Here we have a pure Naphthol color. What do we get when we mix Naphthol with white? Let's see. A nice clean salmon color. And now we'll do Naphthol and a touch of black. Oh, and this is a nice warm, another nice warm brown. A reddish brown. This would be nice, like if you're painting a sunset, landscape, you can do your shadows in this color. Okay, we're gonna do quinacridone. And Naphthol. Oh, beautiful. That would be a nice floral color as well. Skewing my, let me just make sure my camera is still centered here. Okay. I darkened it just a little bit. Actually, let me darken it a little more. I wanted to make a difference, but still keep that. Okay, Ultramarine Blue. And where are we? And Naphthol. This is a beautiful slate color, kind of like a Payne's gray. Oh, that's beautiful. Wait till we mix white with this. Too much. Oh, I love this color. It's so calming. And a hint of black. That might be a little too dark. There we go. Like a charcoal. let's see, Phthalo Blue. And Naphthol, what do we get? I'm going to add a tiny bit more of the Naphthol. Oh, it's like a deep turquoisey color. Let's add some white and we'll really bring that color alive. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a nice color. And a hint of black, darken it a little bit. Are you guys having fun? Okay, here we have our Quinacridone Magenta. And let's mix that with a little Cadmium Yellow. Let me mix up a bigger batch here because okay, like a raw umber, or is it burnt sienna? Burnt umber, that's it. Okay, primary yellow and quin. We're gonna have some repeats on this, so maybe I'll go with, since we just mixed that, I'm gonna just dish most of the white. This makes a beautiful chocolate color. Look at that. Oh. Tree trunk with this. And you can look at your browns and your greens and grays and kind of mix it in a tree trunk if you're painting a bigger tree. It'd be beautiful. Okay, Naphthol. We're running out of a little space here. Naphthol and magenta. Oh, that's a beautiful pink. and a hint of black. I'm actually adding more black than I would have, and it turns it into like an aubergine. Yeah, this is a more of an eggplant color. And we're gonna kind of have the same here, Naphthol and Quin. Let's see. This time I think I'm going to add even more white since we have a duplicate cell. Now just for the heck of it here, because these cells are duplicate, I'm going to add a touch of white to this black and see. Get a beautiful, like a dusty color. That'll be good for a shaded color as well in a rose. Okay, Ultramarine Blue. And Magenta. Oh, this is beautiful. Now we're getting into some purples. Oh my. Like a dioxazine purple. And dioxazine is a single pigment if I'm not mistaken. And it's hard to mix. But that came up beautifully. Let's add some white to that and see what we get. It's so pretty. Beautiful for lavenders. And darken out purple with a hint of black. Oh, this might be my favorite cell so far. Wait till we get into the phthalo, see what we get. Okay, let's do phthalo. I'm gonna mix it here because oops. Might not have mixed enough quinacridone here. Oh, there we go. Just a deeper of the violet colors. That's pretty. Oh, let's do sulfurs, ultramarine blue. Definitely a nice minty color. And just darken it a little bit. Oh, I used the wrong yellow. I used, scoop that up. I need the primary yellow with ultramarine blue. And see, what's nice about acrylics is once it dries and you can, it's so forgiving, you just paint right over it. That's a nice sage green. I might have added a little too much black there. Here we go. I made a mistake. I painted it in the wrong cell. Let's mix it again. Naphthol, ultramarine, and mix it with some black. Some of these colors, especially the darker colors, we might have to hold up to the light to really catch the different layers of the color. I need some more Quinacridone. And I need a cleaner palette here. Let's clean just this little bit here because a lot of it is relevant. Okay. Magenta. Yeah, we have that beautiful purple again. Let's do a little less white this time. Because here we have the same cell, but I'm going to do a little less white just to lighten it up a little bit. And here we have our pure ultramarine. And with a dab of white. Pure ultramarine with a little bit of black. Oh, this makes a nice navy. Let's mix our two blues together. Oh, I need some more ultramarine. Warm and cool blue. That is beautiful. Beautiful for ocean waves. I'm actually going to add a little more white to this one. Beautiful blue. And if we were to add black to our blue mixture, this actually shows up as like a hint of aqua in it because of the phthalo blue. Phthalo blue shows up as aqua. Oh, that's beautiful. It's a deep green actually. And here is our phthalo blue, a lost row. Now let's do phthalo blue and cadmium yellow. We get this bottle green, emerald green. I'm going to mix a little more of the primary yellow just so you can see the difference. I'm going to put a little dab up here. If you play around with your green. Now we'll add some white. Oh, look at that. Oops. Messed with that there. And a little black. Primary yellow. Can I be any messier with my color, with my paintbrush? Oh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. The deep greens you get from the phthalo blue is just stunning. Okay, some naphthol. Okay, we have a phthalo and quinacridone. I don't think I mixed enough quinacridone in here. Let's see. Didn't think so, yeah. Let's add the white and see, because it should show up more purpley. I don't think I added enough quinacridone. My quin is drying a little bit here. I think that's why. I'm actually just going to do the top so you can see the difference when I add more Quinacridone Magenta. And like I said, on some of the duplicate cells, this is where you can experiment with different ratios. So the cell is not redundant. And just make your notes so you know what you did. Sometimes you think you remember what you did. You don't remember what you did. Or at least I don't. Ultramarine Blue and Phthalo. This will actually make a beautiful sky color. Distant ocean color. Let's see, black. Keeps it that deep turquoise because I think the Phthalo Blue is just a stronger color than the ultramarine. And here we have pure phthalo in the last grid. And we are going to do pure phthalo. Well, actually, it's too much. And white. I'm going to add a chunk of white here. That's beautiful. It makes just a nice crisp blue because it's one color that you're mixing with white. And now I'm going to do the Phthalo Blue with some black. And it gives you this beautiful navy color, like a denim. And there you have it, guys. I hope working through this grid has shown you just how much you can create with a simple palette. And this is 6 colors with white and black. But I hope that this has inspired you to go out and create something beautiful for yourself.